Kevin, it is getting down to crunch time here in Atlanta, Georgia. No more interviews, no more outside commitments. It is getting down to X's and O's for the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams as we count down to Super Bowl 53. However, you know, if something trumps our Super Bowl coverage, it's got to be huge. This NBA news, Kevin, wow, take it away.
Yeah, Sage, our big story is a big trade, the blockbuster, and it doesn't involve Anthony Davis. The Knicks are sending Kristaps Porzingis to the Mavericks in a 7-player deal, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. The 23-year-old Porzingis met with management this morning to express his frustration with losing and the team's past dysfunction. He's been out for nearly a year recovering from an ACL injury, and he can become a restricted free agent this summer. Joining Porzingis in this trade to Dallas will be Courtney Lee, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Trey Burke. The Knicks will receive a player they passed on in that 2017 draft, Dennis Smith Jr., also Wesley Matthews and DeAndre Jordan. The deal may also include draft assets. Porzingis' career with the Knicks, well, remember how it started. It started this way.
With the 4th pick in the 2015 NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Kristaps Porzingis from Liepaja, Latvia. He last played for Sevilla in Spain.
You heard the boos. We saw the crying. The Knicks faced a ton of criticism that night, but the unicorn quickly changed people's minds. He increased his scoring in each of his first 3 seasons, averaging close to 23 points per last season when he earned his first All-Star selection. But almost a year ago, he tore his ACL following a dunk on Giannis, and he's yet to play this season. The good news is that he recently worked out shooting threes, and he was dunking. That is great news for now Mavericks fans. And the man who broke the story, Woj, joining us with much more. This escalated quickly. This morning, he's not happy. He talks to Knicks management. This afternoon, he's traded. How did this come about?
Well, Porzingis asked for a trade earlier today, but there was already a deal in motion with Dallas. And for the Knicks, twofold. Listen, this relationship had been deteriorating. The Knicks knew that even before Porzingis came in today. They knew where it was headed, and they were looking to get off of Porzingis. And what they really wanted to do here was create cap space. They have now as much as $75 million available this summer, which would allow them to sign 2 max players. And this tells you that New York has real confidence that they have a real chance to get Kevin Durant from Golden State and then a second max star. But New York has certainly gone all in here. They'll get a pick or 2 from Dallas also in this.
You got notable free agents here, as you mentioned, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Kemba Walker, potentially Jimmy Butler here. And then there's the draft pick. They have 10 wins. They're in the lottery sweepstakes, and right now they have the best chances in that Zion sweepstakes. How does this trade affect them long-term this summer with that potential pick?
Well, a couple of the players they got in the trade, Wesley Matthews, DeAndre Jordan, it'll be interesting to see if they're open to doing buyouts with them. They may not want veterans like that, improving their win total. But certainly, for the Knicks, the focus was on clearing that space. They had a long way to go. And, certainly, listen, their dream scenario in New York, and it's been this for some time, is Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but they've got a ways to go to unfasten Kyrie Irving from the Boston Celtics.
All right, now let's talk about the other side. Porzingis coming off the ACL injury, a restricted free agent. What does that mean for the Mavericks, pairing him up with Luka Doncic and the future here in Dallas?
Well, he's certainly, Porzingis fits in with a great tradition they've had of really having success with international players. Certainly the end of the Dirk Nowitzki era, and then Luka Doncic has come in and become their franchise player. He fits really, really well with them, and part of why they wanted to get Dennis Smith out was, he was a very ball-dominant guard, didn't fit as well with Doncic. But listen, he's going to continue to rehab his injury. The ACL, unlikely he's going to play this year, but as a restricted free agent, he can go out and get an offer sheet from somebody else. He can sign the qualifying offer, play for a set number next year, and then become unrestricted. But Dallas has a real opportunity to welcome him into that organization. He never had the relationships he wanted to have in New York. Phil Jackson to the next group. He wanted to find, in his mind, a more functional organization. And there's certainly been positive change in New York, but he's looking for a place where he can feel like he belongs, and he's got that opportunity in Dallas
He
now.
was drafted in 2015. They went through 4 head coaches. They never won more than 32 games. Meanwhile, the Dallas perspective, the Mavericks, they're in Detroit. And just minutes ago, Rick Carlisle, the head coach of the Mavericks, he was asked about the trade.
I know you guys are going to ask about the trade. I can't really talk about it until the trade call is done. According to what I've heard, that could be sometime around 6 o'clock Eastern time. Could be a few minutes earlier, could be afterwards. Other than that, really can't comment on it. So if you got questions about tonight, I'd be happy to give it a shot.
Let's bring in Stephen A.